Hello, thanks for being here. I am pondering at the moment. I'm pondering if I can move without doofing this setup here so that you can see a close. Maybe I can just roll away gently. I'm thinking it might be more helpful, maybe, if there was less light in here. I'm not just sure that is going to help either. I think what I'm going to do, back in the back of the pitch, there is there. That looks better. There is a twisty thing, potentiometer, I believe we call it. So I can, I'm knocking things. So we can turn down the intensity of the screen. Perhaps I should have done that before. But what I'm going to do here, so that you can relive some of the magic of a Commodore tape drive, is, I have said this before, what if we were going to load in a program called Horse Feathers? And I get that reference from the one and only Jim Butterfield. He had a way with words and with people, and he would often say things such as that. Boy, that looks pretty fine on there. Anyway, this is what long ago in my formative computer years that I would do. Say, as I said, we're looking for a program called Horse Feathers, and we don't know where it is on the tape. So you type in load Horse Feathers, and you press play, and you wait. And once again, it will tell you what it has found. Now, I know there's no program called Horse Feathers on here. But the other part of the magic of all this was that it will tell you what it has found. And sometimes, of course, even though you might not find horse feathers, you might see something go by as things are going by. You might say, hey, that sounds interesting. Or, of course, you might find that the program is called Horse Feathers with a space, and, of course, computers are very good at only doing what it is that you tell them to do. So if you tell it to load Horse Feathers and there's no space, it's not going to find it. But it'll tell you that it's found horse feathers with a space in between horse and feathers. It will. So there is this. Now there should be, I think, 2 other versions of the program that I wrote, just to take up memory. I think there's Commodore 5K and Commodore 6K, maybe, because of course I don't have all the RAM in this machine, because that's what I've been doing. Oh, illegal quantity error. Ooh, interesting. See, this is another reason we test things to see what's what. Now, I am pretty sure if I press run stop, it's not coming out of that. So I'm going to turn that off. Turn it back on. And I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to load COMMODORE, quote. I think I rewound this. Let me just check. Can I see the leader? I can. Alright. I'm going to press play. By the way, one thing about Commodore Basic is depending, you can tell what version of it is by the symbols. There it is, Commodore. It's the symbols beside the thing that says Commodore Basic. And I should know, I think, what the asterisks mean, but I don't. But I'm sure this is a very early version. Certainly, okay, so that worked. And now, I have my glasses on, excuse me. If I type load, I believe with it down, yes, it's just going to keep searching. And that is a good thing. And so soon it should say, found, Commodore 3K. Look, there it is. See, this is the magic. I mean, way back when, 40-some years ago, every time it came up with another message, it was like, oh, things are happening. This is magical. Anyway, yes, so we will see if this loads, etc., etc., etc. We shall see. I believe it will. Oh, back to the asterisks. I know on some machines it had number signs, not asterisks. And I don't remember what it had in, the last versions of, like, Basic 4. I suspect this is probably Basic 2. I don't know if these, there, that's good. L. Oop, no. That is not an L. Load. Yeah, I'm not sure at all if these machines ever did or ever would work with the disk drives. I'm just not sure. I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll have to go onto one of the Facebook sites and ask. It's funny, I'm sure this person had no idea what they were saying or the response they would get, but there was somebody who, on one of the Facebook pages, which of course is kind of like an old bulletin board, and I used to run a bulletin board, came on and, wondered if it should be made illegal for somebody, for more than one person to basically give the same answer to a question. And you know what, when I'm on Facebook, I don't have time to read everything about everything that's going on. And if I look and there's like 30 other answers, and someone has put up a question like this one recently, there was a guy talking about funny things on the screen and other stuff, and of course it could be RAM, it could be this, it could, there's all kinds of things it could be, but most oftentimes, on any machine, the first thing to try, and the symptoms do call for this, is to change the PLA, so I just put PLA. Anyway, I'm not sure who, but somebody said, should it be illegal for somebody, people to leave the same answer? And I replied and said, who is going to police this? I don't have time to read everything and decide. But also, if you ask a question and you get, 20 or 30 people giving you the same answer and you have a few people giving you another, oh, that's done. Yay. The collective wisdom may be telling you that maybe the first thing you should try is the thing that the 30 people suggested rather than the thing that one or two. Anyway, from what I last saw, there we are, we're loading. He's had a couple hundred replies, and I'm sure some of them aren't nice, and, all these sites say don't bully and don't this and don't that, yeah. And I, of course, my answer was not bullying, it was just, one of the other things I said about it was, if I see something I think I can help with, but I don't have time to read through the 50 replies, but I think that maybe what I have to say could be helpful, should I then not bother? Because if somebody else has suggested this, that somehow I'm going to be banned or banished or admonished or, some Facebook police is going to hunt me down. anyway, I suspect, and I don't remember the name, and I don't remember which group it's on, but I suspect the person who left this message has pretty much figured out that perhaps their suggestion of making things, as they put it, illegal is a bit of a stretch. And I would like to think that they understand that it's, you know, no. It's just not a thing. Anyway, so here's the magic as we are loading from tape. Isn't it beautiful? The data set. Chugging along. I believe this is the latest. There we are. We'll type in run. Yay. Now, if you remember this program, it just has the same line over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So I don't know which part of the program is running. But the fact that it is running is good. I think I have exhausted the sizing that I can do on this. I think maybe I will press run stop, and I will press list. Oops, I will type list, and I will let this go by, and you will see that there are many lines. Kind of reminds me of that movie, what was it? Oh, The Shining, where he wrote out hundreds of pages of the same thing. I think all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Okay, so I think that this is full. Let me press clear home, and just for fun, let me put a 2 here and press enter. Yes, we are out of memory, which means the machine is full. We have filled it. Where is the cursor key? Oops, I want to go down. Down. Now, it may be that it may not even list right now, because I may have exhausted everything. Nope, seems to list. So we'll run, and we'll let it go. So, there we have what is essentially now a 6K PET, and it is full. By the way, if you press the, where's the key? Off, reverse key, it will slow the display down. Isn't it lovely? Lovely. There. So, it does seem that this original small screen, black and white, 8K PET that at the moment has 6K, is working tickety-boo, 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 boo, 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 boo. So thanks for joining me on this journey. I hope some of what I have done has been helpful in maybe, if nothing else, raising your courage to open up a machine and start very carefully swapping some chips here and there. And, because, there's all kinds of things can make a machine like this fail. A lot of the time it is one of the major chips that hopefully is in a socket. Other times it could be some other much smaller discrete component that would be very difficult to figure out without a scope, maybe. So I'm not a scope person. I don't know. But I know that typically speaking, not completely, not totally, but it's hard to make things worse when you take a chip out and put another chip that's the same chip in. Unless there's some drastic power issue that is frying things, you're probably not going to hurt anything. and maybe you will find your answer. The answer is out there somewhere. And you know, if you're coming to something that is it's just not going to happen, well, maybe you'll end up with some spare parts to work on something else or fix something else, or, you know, there are times. Like recently I took apart a VIC-20 with a PET keyboard because there was a fellow in California that desperately needed an F1 key. And I will sell off the other keys one by one by one by one by one by one by one. But that means that the VIC-20 that I had that was using that keyboard has been sacrificed. Oh well. It's kind of like being an organ donor. Things sometimes just gotta be. Anyway, alright, I am going to press stop. I'm going to press rewind. The sound of the data set. When it's done, I'm going to press stop. I think it's coming. There. And then I'm going to stop. So, thanks for being here. Bye for now.